Hey, what's going on? It's Glendon Cameron here, founder of Hustlers Kung Fu. All about making that money with a job. Sub's a little different. Today, it's acting kind of great. There we go. It's a little bit better. For those of you who want to never be broke again, below the video, get the Never Broke Action Pack. It'll save you way more than you'll spend. And we're going to talk about something today that's a little different. Unshakable self-confidence. This is for anyone, whether you're trying to start a business, which is what we're all about here, or you just want to be better in life. Because what I'm going to do in this video is take you through the process of how to develop unshakable self-confidence. And I'm going to tell you the benefits, because I get these questions all the time about how did you do it? What's the backstory? And I put it out. And what I'm going to start doing is going even granular, going down to the DNA level. And the first step to developing unshakable self-confidence is you have to fail. This is what a lot of people don't really seem to understand. So many people stay on the sidelines and they're not going to make a move until things line up and it's the perfect time to do stuff. But see, here's the thing, that perfect time rarely comes. Sometimes you'll do something and the stars will line up and the right people will show up. But it's been my experience that when stuff is shitty, that's the perfect time to make money. Because if it's shitty for you, it's shitty for someone else. That's the whole deal. And when I mention that F word, failure, people are trying to nut up because, like, I don't want to fail. I don't want to look bad. I don't want to go through those trials and tribulations. But that's how you develop unshakable self-confidence. So let's see what we got going on. We got a few people jump in here. What's up, Nigel? For those of you who will come later, there's a chat room. There are real people here. And I generally go ahead and do some shout outs first thing. What's up on it? Mike Dunmore, David Court, Runny, Kiones, Kayla Rose, Monica Renee. What's up, Leroy, Alice, Ronika? What's going on? Patrice, David, Rob, the Hector X. What's up, Diana, Charlatan, Freaky Deaky? That's funny. What's up, Quazel? What's up, Jermaine? What's up, Richard? What's up, Keith? And what's up, Carol? All right, here's the first thing. And I'm going to take you through a few stages of my life. For those of you who want to see deeper stories, just go to, the Hustler Kung Fu Story playlist. Matter of fact, I'll show it to you. I'll just make it easy for you, because that's what we do here. We make things a little bit easier, because I'm going to get into some stuff. And it took me some time to put it together, because when you do your thing, you do your thing, and you don't really pay attention to how you're doing your thing or why you're doing your thing. So let's see. Here we go. All right. Now this is go to Hustler Stories, Crazy Craigslist Story, Life Stories. I got all kinds of stuff in here. My first day as a day laborer, all kinds of stuff. Now, why is this important? By going through experiences and learning how to deal with people, because that's what life is. Life is dealing with people. Either you choose to deal with people or you choose not to deal with people. But any way you slice it, the better that you are with dealing with people, the happier, the healthier, and the wealthier you'll be. So this is how I developed unshakable self-confidence. This is only a little bit. There's a ton of stories here, right? But the thing is, it all matters. Everything you do, it matters. I know there are many people who feel that they somehow could, if they could start over or press a reset button, and life doesn't work that way. So what you've done matters, what you do matters, and what you will do in the future matters for developing unshakable self-confidence. I went ahead and showed you that. So you can go in there, and I'm gonna just put that in there. Let's see. Now, this is how it starts. You'll do something and you don't know what you're doing. We all have this thing of we're not 100% confident or aware of the things that we can do until we do them. Sometimes you'll do something and it'll be an immediate win. Immediate. Sometimes you'll do something several times over and it will not work out. It just will not work out. You'll do it the first time. You'll do it the second time. You'll do it the third time, the fourth time, the fifth time, the sixth time, and it just doesn't work out. Part of that is that's the grand design. Anyone here knows how evolution works? I'm gonna give you an example. Let's say that you've got 18 people on the shoreline and there's these dinosaurs coming, right? And then the dinosaurs are coming. So they all jump in the water and swim to land. Everybody with little feet and little hands drown, right? So all the people with the bigger hands, the bigger feet, they make it to the other side. So those genes will survive. That's how evolution works. That's how success works. The stuff that doesn't work, it dies. And the stuff that does work continues on. And evolution is a long process, but that's how your success works. Now, let's see, what am I gonna pick? Oh, we got more people coming in here. I'm gonna take the move from the boarding house to the East Point house. Boarding house, I live in quite a few of them. I don't think I ever put that out there because there, just like anything, there's better boarding houses. There's upscale boarding houses. There are cleaner boarding houses. There are boarding houses in the hood. Well, I moved to a nicer one and I realized something that troubled me. I was starting to become comfortable in that situation. I went to work at the labor pool. I made a little money. I had a nice room. It was this place. The roommates weren't that crazy. Everybody had jobs. Everybody had cars. Women were spending the night. It was kind of like a frat house for adults. And I was in the bathroom one morning. I was brushing my teeth and I was like, you're becoming too comfortable here. You're becoming too confident here. And what happens is things that you do really well, that creates confidence. Things that you do really poorly, that creates fear and anxiety. So I went and started creating fear and anxiety. I started pushing myself because if you've noticed something, depending upon your age, if you will, let's say you're in your 40s or 50s, if you look on your Facebook page and see a lot of your classmates, you'll see a lot of people have literally stopped growing. I'm not saying this is bad. It's personal choice. In these United States of America, you can live how you want. So I'm not, saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying if you've noticed that many people have literally stopped growing. And when you stop growing, your confidence stops growing. And what happened was I started to do all this anxiety. I started to, that's where the whole create a company, create my own reference thing, all of that stuff started to come because I knew that when I got laid off from PowerTel that I could probably get another job, but I made myself be very uncomfortable. I went after things that were 10 levels, maybe 20 levels above me, and it was a struggle. But the thing is, the first, let's say, set of experiments worked out really, really well. I got a job that was like 3 times more money than I was currently making. I moved to a nicer house. Didn't have a car for a minute, but for you guys, if you have the option of living on your own or having a car and roommates, living on your own is going to get you way more ass than just a car. Just telling you from experience. And that also was something that happens when you challenge yourself is you will find out things that other people don't know. Like there are a lot of people out there who are paying $600 to $1,200 a month total cost for their car, including the payments, insurance, gas, and maintenance. Yet they have roommates. Well, if you got rid of that car and you got your own place, not only would you be more successful with the opposite sex, because currently what 40% of millennials live with their parents. So there's not a lot of people with their own place. So you immediately go up a level. You become more productive because it's your space. You don't have to, you clean it when you want to. I'm saying you shouldn't be a slob. You should clean up, but you become much more productive. You kind of grow into your manhood or your womanhood because it's just you and you got to examine your own shit. It's a challenge living with people. I'm not going to marginalize that. It is a challenge. But when you have your own space, a lot of things are going to improve for you. So I went through all these levels and I noticed that through each level of bullshit, because, all right, I got a job at Run a Crate, I felt some kind of way. I was working with people, people were talking about stuff that was like, oh yeah, we just went to the Hamptons, and I was just like, shit, my ass was in a boarding house. So I felt very uncomfortable. I was full of anxiety and I pushed on it. And then I got comfortable there. Then I got into office furniture and I was full of anxiety and I was very uncomfortable. Then I pushed. If I didn't go through the anxiety and being uncomfortable, I wouldn't have developed the unshakable self-confidence, because confidence is a byproduct of experience. You can have that fake ass self-confidence where you just beat yourself on. Yeah, I'm the man. I'm the man. I'm the man. You can do that bullshit, but it's hollow. There's no substance to it. But when you have gone through trials and tribulations and overcome, trials and tribulations and overcome, trials and tribulations and overcome, you get to a point where a lot of stuff doesn't faze you. And it's very robust. It's very, very robust. But if you are looking for immediate self-esteem, immediate self-confidence without the mental perspective of actually doing something or accomplishing something, it's not really durable. It's not durable at all. Let's see what we got here going on. Mr. and Mrs. Fuller. What's up, folks? MJ Electronics. Good morning. Mommy Motivations, Patches, Carlton. Nice perspective. We're trying things 20 levels above where you're currently at. Yeah, because this is the thing. And we already, all of us know this. Like if you have a young child and he's good at basketball or football and you want them to be better, you have them go play bigger kids. That's the only way they're going to get better, because they're already dominating comfortable, right? You're comfortable. They're dominating their level. Another thing that happens is super smart kids, like the smartest kid in high school, a valedictorian, a salutatorian, they go to college and they go to a nice college and they find out that they're average. It freaks some of them out. It literally freaks them out because they're used to being the kid. Now they're just one kid of many smart kids, some who are way smarter than them. And they have a choice. They could up their game by engaging with these smarter kids and learning more, dealing with the anxiety, being uncomfortable, being scared, or they could go somewhere else and be once again the kid. What's up, Lamode? What's up, Tony? What's up, Brandon? Kenna? Yeah, it's the inner coolness. Louis said, I used to live in the South Bronx until '89. I witnessed stabbing, shooting, and people thrown off rooftops. But I didn't become a victim of the environment. I left now and I live in the suburbs. That's called escalation. You believe in affirmations to help with your self-confidence with everyday life? Gerard 92. I believe affirmations with action will help with your self-confidence. You know, that's most of that. I'm the man. I'm the man. I'm great. I'm great. That can help you, but it's like saying that and then going out and putting copious amounts of action in that same direction is 1,000 times more powerful. Cynthia Hart, I could see my son facing that dilemma. What dilemma is that, Cynthia? For mom, what's up? Ganja 88, the Bronx is still rough. Shit, New York's rough. But typically, and I'm going to actually talk about that with Louis and I guess Ganja 88, and they're still in New York. And I know Matthew Campbell, he's in New York. There are many people, and this is where tribalism comes in. You get many people who have the physical means to, quote, escape the hood, but they don't leave because they want to be there and be this beacon, this shining light for other people to say, like, hey, this is possible, which is really, really cool. But that's not how a lot of humans work, because just you being who you are, where you are, example made. Now, staying in the hood, you will inspire some people, but you will also inspire jealousy, envy, hate, and some people may try to take you out. The Bronx says, oh, I don't live there anymore. I don't know about the deals. Let's see. We'll have to talk about that. But typically when tribalism comes into effect, you have people who are perfectly capable of doing something else, but because that bond of tribalism is so deep that they would suffer when they don't have to. And you change anything you went through. Well, I mean, having those experiences, that's like post-traumatic stress disorder. That's like what the soldiers who went over in Afghanistan, and they're sitting there drinking coffee with their buddy, and they look over and he's laughing, then they look back, his head's blown off. Those are traumatic events. Everyone can't compartmentalize that stuff and be okay. I used to work in the emergency room, and this is another thing that led to unshakable confidence. When you see somebody coming in and their heads cracked open to the white meat, or there's an arm missing, or they've been shot, or they've been impaled with some shit, and you got to go, I can't freak out because this guy's neck is cut to right here and there's blood running everywhere and he's still talking. Why? I don't know. How? I don't know. My job is to be part of this team to get this person healthy again. So I've seen people, trauma one, trauma. I've seen people nut up in the ER. Just when, this is why they have charge nurses and people in there. I've seen the charge nurse grab someone, push them out. Yo, Bill, come in here. Boom. And like this happens in seconds. And that's another thing that people who work in hospitals and deal with a lot of sick people who can do it well, they have a skill set that many don't appreciate, because no one tells you that being able to remain calm, cool, and collected when someone's head is about to be sheared off, or, oh, there's blood shooting out of their neck. That's a real strong skill set. That's a real one, but no one talks about it. It's kind of like soldiers who went to Afghanistan and came back whole. They've got some serious skill sets, and it's just, they can deal with a lot of stress without freaking out. That's another, everyone's not like that. Some people are born that way. Some people have to develop that, because I don't know when it happened, because I used to be squeamish around blood and other stuff, but one day it just didn't bother me. But it's through trial and error. Irvin, I'm trying to move to ATL, but I have a daughter, so I'm trying to get my things together. Okay. Tony Jackson, that jealousy is so real. I'm going to tell you something that happened here on YouTube. I don't use the Wirecast, when I can do the angles, because, it's not reliable. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And then somebody was like, your camera angles, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we get it. You got 3 cameras. This camera was $79. I'll tell you something else about the jealousy. One time I put on my Facebook page how I make money. I showed my desk and, my setup with my computers. And then it was, someone was like, that's how Apple makes money. It just completely went the other way. Because another thing about self-confidence is, if you decide that something is for you, you don't care who else likes it, it's for you. You go, AKA Jerry Jones of the Dallas Cowboys. They had a great season. They had a really good season. They just ran into Tricky Rogers. I was like, y'all left 35 seconds on the clock with this one. He only needs 10. You've given him 3 times as much time as he needs. So that was pretty much clock management. And with any other quarterback, 35 seconds would have been real quick. But that guy made a career on doing stuff that he does. But when you get to that point where you do your thing and you're not like concerned with cost because the reward of internal happiness because you like it. I'll give you a great example of this. Everybody who's been to Ted's Montana Grill, the bison, I'm gonna tell you the story about that in a minute. Everyone that's been to Ted's, just put bison in the comments. You're telling me jealousy is super real. Alexander, I remember Dan Pink talking about affirmations. He said it's often better to ask, can I do this, than list why. If you just say I can do this, then the subconscious may not accept it. I can see that because typically I said I wanted to be a writer. And there was three times I tried it. The first 2 times I wasn't doing a lot of writing. The third time I wrote every day. Holy moly, a book came out of that. And a career came out of that. And a whole new occupation and new opportunities came out of that from doing. So affirmations by themselves can be powerful. Affirmations married to action can be life-changing. I mean, losing the chat when I airplay to Apple TV. Yeah, I don't think they have the chat on that. The Cowboys, a great season. I think next year they may do it. The upload Steelers over Patriots. I agree. I'm a Steelers fan. What up, Greg? All right. So, all right, here's the thing with Ted. Ted Turner, TBS, owner of the Braves. I think at one time, owner of the Hawks. He bought this ranch in Wyoming. Matter of fact, I'll just show it to you. Ted Turner Ranch. Those bison, that's his restaurant. That was just a passion. He was doing that for fun. He created this multi-million-dollar business for fun because let's see. Let's go to images. He grows, he has bison. he bought this ranch years and years ago, and that's where the bison meat comes from for his ranches. It's a working ranch. I was actually telling somebody the other day that I might want to get some property out, because you ever go on a long road trip and you're just driving, once you get out of any city, the houses get further apart, the roads wind a little bit more, there's less traffic. There's just something peaceful about that. But he created this ranch and this other stuff. He's got way more things than this, but it's just, he just said, this is what I wanted to do. And the thing is, he had enough money that whether it made money early on or not, it was immaterial, because he's like, we doing this. Think about it. We're going to make these bison burgers. We're doing this. And I know that I've been going to Ted's since at least 2008. So almost 10 years. It's definitely winning. Now, another thing that you can do every day to develop unshakable self-confidence is to challenge yourself. One of the things that I see that's going on with the current election cycle, and I say current because it's not over. They're already campaigning for 2020. They're already doing all this crazy stuff. And I was looking at this thread this morning, and there's a lot of people who view Trump as a deity. There's a lot of hero worship here, and it's scary because these people are becoming fanatics. And there's a fine line between fanaticism and psychosis, crazy. There's a fine line between that, and I see a lot of people crossing it daily. And you don't have people who are being objective, because like I said, I did a video. Trump won, what you can do. It's not the end of the world, but there are people who are so without confidence that they can improve their own lives, that they've invested so much into this guy that is scary, because really ain't a lot's going to happen unless you're on the fringes of society, or you're like really, elderly, or a kid, or poor. People will be greatly impacted these coming years. They're going to catch an L. They're going to catch a bunch of L's. But if you making the kind of money you want to make, living where you want to make, and you got your own business, it's just not going to hurt you. But that just shows you how many people really are not doing well. This fanaticism is a great gauge on how well many people are not doing. Let's see. Tell us what your knowledge of the power of writing down your goals and plans. I've got 2 courses, The Power of 6 and let's see, Scripted Days. I can do that as a special. Anyone that wants The Power of 6 or Scripted Days, let me know and I'll go ahead and draft something for you. Ideation Hitler, I would not wipe my feet on him either. There's a lot of stuff that's going because typically I do a lot of research when I'm participating on Facebook because once you develop unshakable self-confidence, once you develop a purpose and a plan for your life, a lot of this outside stuff is more of a curiosity to you than a condemnation. Because when you're like I said, Trump won. I woke up and I said, how can I make money from this? That was my first thought. Like, how can I use this to make money? Not like, woe is me, the world's going to end, because it doesn't matter who's president. I'm going to get my W's. I'm going to get my wins. I'm going to get my cash. I'm going to get my gold. I'm going to get it. Those fools have nothing to do with me getting money. Nothing. Because I'm a private sector guy and I will come out here and talk to you folks and I'll go out and engage with the public. That doesn't scare me. It scares some other folks. Morning. There are anti-Trump people just as crazy, which makes supports just as cookie. I'm going to disagree with you because I know when Obama was elected, a lot of stuff was going on and these Trump people were the same people who were against Obama. And I saw crazy stuff. I saw the president, first time in my life I've ever seen the president of the United States dressed as a witch doctor in effigy. So essentially, these Trump people are a continuation of the Obama haters. And that's a long time of hate. So I'm going to totally disagree with you on that. It's insane. It really is. What do you think led to so many people not doing well? Number one, the education system. Number two, the lack of real parenting models. If you would look at the parents of the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s, kids were like, be a kid, go outside and play, which just means you go out and expose yourself to other kids and you gain experiences which build confidence. So one of the reasons is a lot of people don't have competent parents. This isn't to say they don't love you, because they probably do, but that's a big part of it today, because generation after generation, and there was a lot of political stuff in terms of the government actually helping the people, where people did well year after year. But another thing is we're not taught to be successful. Another thing is the educational system is designed to make you a sheep. Another reason is many people do not want to be 100% responsible for their life. They want someone else to take the blame when something goes bad, and they want to take all the glory when things go well. And it just doesn't work that way. The actress, this is a great time to get ahead. Most of us know that he's not going to save us, so we can get off our butt and finally take responsibility of ourselves. I mean, that's been my message since I've been here on YouTube. I'm not going to go specifically, but I'm going to say something else. For those of you who have watched this channel for years, I've said it, and I've said it time and time again. You need your own website. You need your own email list. You need your own internet assets, because Facebook, if you talk about gays, they're going to delete your page. If you talk about Jewish people, they're going to delete your page. You can talk shit about black folks all day long, your page can stay up. You talk about racism, your page could be deleted. If you talk about, I mean, there's a lot. I've seen a lot of people lose their page. I've seen a lot. I mean, it's very much, Facebook has an agenda, in my opinion, and YouTube does too. There's certain things you will not hear me talk about on this channel, because I know what's going to happen. And fortunately, I'm not really interested in talking about those subjects, but Uh, I would think that's just Steve has kind of lost his way. Steve has been so successful for so long, he forgets how people think. Sometimes I make the same mistake. You're just certain things that, all of this kind of goes back to people feel burdened. They feel that they don't control their lives. They feel really, really marginalized. So when someone speaks against them or what they believe in, there's this mob type mentality. So yeah. Leroy, I'm trying to figure out how I can come up during the Trump presidency. There will be a few gaps opening up because he's upsetting business models with a threat of changing trade and healthcare. Um, it's wide open. It's wide open. There's not going to be a few gaps. Okay, here's the thing, and this is unshakable confidence. Every day, you have a chance to win, regardless of who's the president and all this other bullshit. Because every day, someone needs. This is a nail file. Someone needs this. A few pennies to produce. You sell it for. I forget how much I paid for it. Someone's going to need an iPhone case. Someone's going to need an iPhone. Someone's going to need pens. Every day, there's an opportunity to win. I'm going to tell you the story of Kurt. I haven't seen him in a while. Kurt was one of those Obama haters, and we were in the same group, and he just go on and on. And I said, Kurt, why don't you just fucking dominate your niche? Why don't you just leave all this political rah-rah bullshit alone and focus on your business? And, he was somewhat introspective, and he would talk, and he's like, I'll try that. Did that. 12 months later, best year he ever had. This is why I really limit my time on Facebook. And this is why sometimes I get into stupid conversations. I'm human. Sometimes I get sucked in, but I work hard some days I won't be on Facebook literally be on Facebook for the whole week for maybe 12 hours because it is designed to be sticky and it's designed to keep you on the platform. So they're doing a lot of persuasion tactics and stuff, but it's not good for you if you're trying to run a business. Your focus needs to be on your business. It doesn't need to be on Facebook. It doesn't need to be on Twitter. It doesn't need to be on Trump. I don't look at Facebook for my information. I got this app that I look for, and I read my news stories because you read the news story and you're not getting that spin. Well, you are getting spin, but long story short, what you focus on is what you become. If you focus on success, you'll be successful. And many people say they're focusing on success, but you see they're on Facebook 12 hours out the day. That math does not work up on that. 12 hours on Facebook, you sleep for 8 hours. That's 20. Oh, so you're only focusing on your business for 4 hours. Wow, no wonder it's not working. Well, yep. The sheep school. Louis the Seller, the world will not stop spending because Trump is president. But you think if there wasn't an Obama president, Trump would have won? Nope. That whole thing was a response to Obama. Yep, even YouTube. There's a lot of YouTube channels that get deleted. They get into controversial areas. Naso, turn off fake book in the goddamn TV. I've turned off the news and have not been in the casino. Poops Facebook over a month. Mr. Safety Forever. Adversity can be brutal. How do you maintain your perseverance? You got to have a purpose in life. If life's kicking you in the ass and there's no overarching purpose for you being here, it's going to continue to kick you in the ass and you may tap the fuck out. You got to have a purpose. There's got to be something that you're trying to do. Every guy or woman that's become extraordinarily rich had a purpose that had nothing to do with money. Money is a byproduct of purpose. Money is a byproduct of service. Money is a byproduct of achievement. Chasing money for the sake of money is foolish and stupid because when you look at the mechanics of wealth, everyone that got really wealthy, for the most part, there's exceptions, like the people who go around and do IPs, patent lawsuits. But most folks who made the billions have served millions. That's typically the best path to becoming a billionaire. Find a few million people you can serve and you will become a billionaire. Not just, I'm going to be a billionaire because I want to be. I'm a billionaire. I'm a billionaire. No money. I'm a billionaire. I'm a billion. Damn, it's still no money. This shit don't work. Greg Williams, the problem isn't Facebook or social media, it's how you interact with it. I'm gonna disagree with that a little bit because I know, being an internet marketer, what kind of tactics are being pushed on you. So it's kind of saying, like, a person who has a addiction, that cocaine's not the problem. Um, Facebook is designed to make it addictive. They do all of these things. Like, they spent millions making Facebook Live super, super easy. Where YouTube, like the thing where I switch Wirecast, there's a learning curve. That's why you don't see a lot of people using it. Building my credit score. Trump is a delayed reaction. I'm going to differ with that. I was 2008. I saw the shit that I saw when Obama was president. And I think if a white guy, and I'll say that, was elected and did the same shit Obama did, Trump wouldn't have been elected. Anyone that wants to say that racism did not play a role in this has not been paying attention. It did. It just did. And that's just a reflection on how this country is. It's gotten much better, and I think it will continue to get better. But you got a lot of folks out there that are just not happy if they can't say, I'm better than someone else because I'm this color or this religion. That's a problem for some people. 56 years young, just getting my finances correct. Hey, better late than never. Yes, you'll be able to view this later, Alicia. Never broke action pack. Been off Facebook for 4 months and revamped my mindset and tripled my income. Congratulations. Tony Jackson, I'm trying to change my welfare mindset. Sessions like this have really been helping. That's good to know, because the thing is, you're indoctrinated with the mindset you have. This is the thing that you got to understand about you. You didn't even pick your own name unless you changed it later in life. You didn't pick your religion unless you actually went out and said, I want to be a monk or Buddhist or a Christian. You didn't even pick your friends. That was a byproduct of the town that you lived in. So many things that happened to you did not happen because of your choices. No one ever thinks about that. So it's very easy to get caught up in this. And when you start actually making choices and developing unshakable confidence, you start to throw people, because most people do not live lives of choice. They live lives of convenience. They live lives of happenstance. And then you have that romanticized in books and movies, like, I lost my job and I ran into Irene and we got married in 50 years, which happens. It's possible. But if you sit down and go, I want this kind of relationship. If you sit down and go, I want this and this and this, and you actively work toward it, you'll get it. Alice, Facebook's make you think. Yes, it does. That's what I got. A friend that calls it flake book, and I got another friend that calls it fake book. Confidence comes with achievement. The flip side is, you have so much achievement, you can get lazy too. Yep. Jeff M, yes, true. But if you're aware of how social media actually works, then you know how to react to it. Actually, once again, it's like the drug. A drug addict cannot be around cocaine. An alcoholic doesn't need to be around alcohol. So you can't react to it. You got to stay away from it. And if you're a social media addict, you could spend 4 to 8 hours a day making someone else wealthy while you entertain yourself. Nope, didn't hear that, Irvin. They so if Obama had as many baby mamas as president-elect. I mean, it's true. I mean, that's, well, Clintons were racist as well. Charlton, FBA has been a boom for sourcing products and selling. Now, if you use Facebook as creating a seller account, you're selling stuff, that's whole different. If you're on 8 hours, you're on 8 hours on Facebook, and you at the end of the day, you done made 300 to 4 grand. That's worthy. But if you're on Facebook fighting with people you don't know, who don't matter, that you don't care about, and responding 18 times in the thread, and you're not off that day, you're wasting time and you're wasting money. But I will agree. But here's a quick story. Recently, I've remodeled my office because I got to make room for some stuff that's going to happen. And I got rid of a lot of stuff and I sold it all on Craigslist. Now, this is the thing. I sold it all at my price and I sold it pretty damn quick. I got one thing left. And I was just like, this is like the old days. And this was, January, when, quote, people are supposedly broke. Here's another thing with unshakable self-confidence that you should know. If you put out like people have money, you'll find money, because I listed the stuff and I did my research and I priced it appropriately and I sold it 2 days after listing it, most of it. Now, part of unshakable self-confidence is you will try stuff when people will tell you. Give you a good example, really, really good example. My first book. My first editor told me I could not write, that I should pay her to rewrite the book and put it up. I took, I had to pick my face off. This is my first book. This is like a baby. It's just like, you talking shit about my baby? Yeah, he ugly, but he's mine, So I was all upset, all kind of ways. And I was like, you know what? Because I knew at that moment it was better to put out a flawed product. And I'm going to explain why. Because self-doubt, once it starts creeping, because a seed of self-doubt can grow as fast as kudzu in your psyche, or faster. And I knew that I had momentum. I had it. I was ready. People had knew that the book was coming. I was like, fuck it. We're putting this bitch out. We're putting it out. We'll deal with the consequences later, because if we hit pause, this may never happen. So that was, unshakable self-confidence doesn't mean you're not scared. It just means that you will go forward. Can having unshakable self-confidence hurt a business? For example, if a business is failing, with unshakable confidence make you hold on longer than you should. Unshakable self-confidence I'll give you how it worked with my business partner when we had the business before she died. I was let's do, and she was the handbrake, and it worked out very, very well. So if you have a business that you're not the only member of a bit, if you're a single member business, yeah, this could be a problem. But if you're a business and you have a team, you have people you talk to, this typically won't happen, because people will be like, hey, there's a cliff over there and we need to stop. But as a single member business, yeah, and that's unfortunately a lot of single member businesses aren't businesses, they're just high income jobs. Michael Sneed, I'm not afraid of Trump. It's the self-driving cars that scare me. Without being able to write tickets, who would pay for all the judges? You make a serious point, because traffic tickets are a tax. Those are taxes. So there's some valid points there, because that's I gotta say that's a good point, because I've been wondering, because I think the self-driving trucks are going to happen before the cars. Social media has a trigger response built in to make you think you're in control. Yes, it does, Leroy. Yes, it does. Ronnie, I'm done trying to talk to people about my goals and plans. Don't talk about your goals and plans. Just put your head down and go to work. Just do that. That's something else. And that's why it's like, if you got a business, a dream, something, get busy now, because we're entering, and we're going to see this in our lifetimes, where I think there's just going to be a huge social program and people are going to get like a minimum income, because we got more people than we have jobs right now. And it's just going to get worse. Quiet ninja subject matter expert doing PMs, no open conflict and opinions in the forums. Baby steps. Yeah, I mean, you gotta get started. Irvin, your environment around you can give you self-doubt. That's one of the big things about tribalism. You got people who are living in the hood right now who could be doctors, but because of their environments and the people who are around them, intellectually, intellectual material, brain material, IQ, they got that, but they don't have the support system. So yeah, your environment is huge. Blake Riley, how do you turn a high income job to a business? Systems and processes. Systems and processes. That's the difference between a high income job and a business. Let's say right now, I have a high income job. This is not a business yet. It's going to be real soon, because typically the internet has allowed me to leverage so much that it's been ridiculous. And I appreciate it because I've had businesses where we had these processes and systems. And typically you've got a business if you don't have to get up and go into the office. If you got sick and you couldn't go to work for a month, but your income didn't change or even went up, you have a business. If you get sick and can't work and you go into foreclosure, you have a high income job. That's the difference. I know nothing about day trading. Move in silence, invite negative energy if you tell people what you're trying to do. Corey B06. I've had that happen to me, and that's one of the things that I typically, on my personal Facebook page, I don't talk about business. I used to post these videos and streams and stuff, and I just thought about it. I was like, because I go on Facebook and I'll read when someone, or like this guy, I'm not going to mention his name. He has talked about, how to become a millionaire, and he does these videos, and people are just like, how come no one on your boat knows about this? And I mean, it's so staged. Okay. It's really, really staged. And I look at that guy and other people, because when I had my business, and someone else said this about finding mentors and finding people who can help you. The guy was just like, you don't want someone who isn't doing it. You want someone who's currently doing it. And I thought, that's kind of flawed, because when I was doing my storage auction business full time, there's no fucking way in the world I was going to mentor anybody. There was no way. I was too busy. So, and also for folks who can't afford mentors or somebody like me, go to SCORE. It's a group of retired executives. You go in there, you buy someone some donuts and cookies. You can get a guy who built 2, 3, 4, $100 million company who will talk to you for free. Just because what I'm looking at, I'm taking 2 clients through a lot of old school sales and management tactics. That stuff works better than a lot of this. If you're doing online business where you're trying to sell digital products, or you're trying to sell certain things, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube work. But when you're trying to sell, or physical products, physical products, they're great for that, because there's less trust that's involved. But when you're trying to build a business, hire employees, develop processes and systems, Facebook really falls short on that. Because what the dream is to create an internet business and do no work and make a lot of money. That's the dream. And that's why so many people are unsuccessful. That right there, you hear people, someone who's doing this thing, like, you don't have to work that hard. You don't have to put in the hours and stuff. And I've built, 10 companies, and I just disagree with that. I just totally disagree with that, because if you're not going to put in the hours, someone else is. And if they're putting in more hours and you're selling the same product and they're working harder than you are, I think that person's going to win. Just my opinion. How much business can you juggle at a time? If you've got enough systems and process, billions of dollars worth of business. Alexander, I think it's kind of crazy how often we know exactly what we should do to improve our confidence, yet we usually suppress it. Tips to remove mental blocks. Get away from certain people. Develop a routine of self-improvement. What I mean by this is every day take 10 to 30 minutes and write up a list, Ponder, meditate on how you can improve yourself. Make it a habit. Trying to do this brute force stuff is you can do it temporarily. That's like, all these people who join gyms in January, then fall off. That's brute force. If you say, you know what, I'm not going to join the gym. I'm going to walk for 30 minutes a day for the next month. Build that habit. Once that habit's in place, then do something else and add to it. That's just more durable. Insurance can cover your demise. Just get the right one. Famon, if you have haters, then you're doing something. The more haters you have, the more successful you are. Unfortunately, that's true. Unfortunately, that's very true because, like I said, I will say since I'm doing these live streams that a lot of the hate has really come down on the channel because I used to get that shit every day. Now it's just kind of like here and there. But that is a very, very important point. Man, I got to stop watching your channel. I end up extremely successful. Man, that's the plan. That's the plan. All right, somebody was talking about something. Let's see. What can we do before I bounce? But I mean, essentially, unshakable self-confidence is a byproduct of a lot of the action. The more stuff you do, I'll tell you a little story about Tracy. The dude I used to know when we were at Fort Mac. Tracy looked like a slee stack, okay? Actually, hold on. Let me see. Land of the Lost. Slee. There it is. All right. Let's go to images. This is so wrong, but I'm gonna do it. All right. This is Tracy, right? You look like a slee stack. All right. Tracy did some stuff that I learned from and I modeled. Tracy had some, he could dance really, really well. He's a slim dude, 6-pack. So what he did was he accentuated his positives. And he would just talk to any girl. He looked like a slee stack, right? And that dude got more pussy than all of us combined. This is something I know. I had a friend that lived next to him. I don't know how many times I went to see my boy Doo-Doo. That was his name, Doo-Doo. That's his, that was his nickname. And it was for real. And I'm just sitting there like, how does this slee stack motherfucker keep doing this? We all just sat back like, how does he keep doing this? And the thing is, Tracy would approach any woman, anytime, anywhere. Now, by the law of averages, he was going to be successful because he just approached more people. That was it. And then as he approached more people, he became even more successful because his confidence level went up. I mean, it's just, it was just crazy how often that this type of stuff happens. I mean, he looked like a slee stack for real. I'm not joking. And it didn't matter because he kept going and going and going and going and going. So that's another way, the slee stack example of how you develop unshakable self-confidence. Oh, shoot, I need haters, doggone's new strategy. For sure, big baby. I'm with you, bro. I had a homie like that in high school because he was persistent. He ended up with one of the best. I mean, I saw this over and over and over. And once I was able to pull back from my position of a hater and put on my observer glasses and dissect the technique and dissect the things that he was doing, I saw it many years later. We all approached one or two women a quarter. Let's just keep it real. We were like, hey, look at the girl, and she look at us, and we wouldn't go over there. Tracy be like, fuck that. So literally on the weekend, he would approach more women in the weekend than we approached all year. It just worked for him. Bruce KSA, does the law of averages work the same for business and sales? Yes. Maybe at some point. All right, the power of 10. It's really the power of 6. All right, let me go over here. me do some real, because I got a plumber coming in a minute. He may be out there. Let's see. Because my animal is losing their mind. Let's see. What can we do? All right. Let's see. Not really prepared for that. Let's see what's over here. What can we do for the people today? Never broke action packs up there. It's 150. And you know what? This is what I'm gonna do. This kind of fits into it. Let's see. We're gonna change the price. It's 300 bucks. We're gonna take it to 99. All right, saved. All right, just for you guys who want it, because this actually is somewhat congruent to what we're talking about here. So here it is. It's okay. That was weird. All right, disruptive mating. It's 99 bucks. Go ahead and grab it. I'll do some other deals the rest of the week. So for those of you who are on the stream, you can get disruptive mating, and it's 99 bucks. You got like 30 minutes to grab it, because once the stream is over, you will not be able to get to that price. All right, so with that, be sure to share this video with someone you care about, like and subscribe, and I'm out.